Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Coming at you again for a part 3 of a video I did a while ago. It was money saving ideas, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll do a part 3, and then I realized months later I hadn't done it, so I'm like, ruh-roh. Okay, we need to do that. So I was racking my brain thinking of things that we do just that are kind of smaller things, not necessarily like changing bills and all that kind of stuff, but subtle things that we do that I feel like have saved us money in the long run. So I've got my list down here, so if you hear me kind of or like watch me referencing down, then you'll know what's going on. So I've got 13 tips for you today, and then I can implement some pictures too so you can visualize what I'm talking about. So one of them is car maintenance. So for many years, my husband has doing the car maintenance. So initially when my car was in warranty, it still kind of is, but it doesn't have a maintenance warranty anymore, he would actually go and we would take it into the dealer at those times because it was free. But later down the road, after it became not free anymore, we would at that point do all of the oil changes, those type of maintenance, filters, all that stuff on our own. We also do like cleaning our cars at home, vacuuming, washing, all that stuff as well. So those things we all do at home for free. So those are things that have saved us money from having to go into like a Jiffy Lube or something like that. Just small like little changes over time. And then on bigger things too, if it's something that has gone wrong, luckily we've been pretty blessed that both of our cars have been very reliable, and we'll get back to that in a second, but they've been fairly reliable and in good condition. We've been trying to maintain them the whole way along the line, so we haven't had a lot of issues as far as like major maintenance issues that have come up. But my husband's always been really good with all of our older cars about researching what actually you need to do, what's the problem, and even if it means going and getting a car manual actually for that specific model online and figuring out how to repair it himself. So I've been really blessed that he is very mechanical and can do that. So if that's something that you can do in your family, I'll definitely highly recommend, because that's going to save you a lot of money. Along the same lines, we also do a lot of our home repairs and things ourselves as well. And one of the things that is the main thing that came to mind when I was thinking about this is there's been a lot of times, like for example, when we bought a dishwasher, it comes with installation, we installed it ourselves. Googled it, YouTubed it, figured it out, installed it ourselves, rearranged plumbing, did all that stuff. There was also a time when we moved in that our garage door wasn't working properly. My husband Googled it, YouTubed it, figured out how to do it, and one weekend we fixed it ourselves. That was a $200 to $300 savings. So there's a lot of little things that can come up, or like even just jobs that you are pretty simple that you could do yourself that just save money. You know, when we painted the house, I did everything myself. There was a lot of trim work that I did. I just did everything myself. So just to save that labor cost. So also when it comes to like computers and things like that, my laptop was getting older, and well, it is getting older. It's a 2011 model computer, and as it's been aging, you know, it still runs pretty okay, but the fact is like some things were going wrong. One thing I broke, let me hold on to the chair because the cat is gonna jump on it, I just know it. And there he went, okay. But like my phone, I dropped it, and the way it hit the trackpad and shattered it. So it was still working luckily, but it was annoying to me because I was like, oh, there's little tiny pieces of glass over here, so don't scroll over there. But I was really annoyed by it, and I was like, this is so annoying. If I go to take it in to get it fixed, it's probably going to cost a lot of money. I ended up researching how to do it. And then there was also a couple other things that had gone wrong too, or like ways that you can upgrade your laptop that I looked up. And I basically did the research on it, found the parts on Amazon, ordered them, and my husband and I sat down and worked on it together. I probably messed things up more than helped, but we were able to like change the RAM, we were able to change the trackpad. There was just a lot of things we were able to do ourselves. And I was like, I didn't think it was going to be as easy as it. I mean, some things were a little more tricky, like just a little more finessing, but I'm like, and then you just buy a screwdriver for that, because it was really tiny little screwdrivers, and it was way cheaper than taking it in to get it worked on. And I'm like, my 2011 laptop is running really well, like pretty similar to how it was when I first got it. And you wouldn't be able to tell the difference that, you know, things had been broken on it. So things to consider. Also, like if we have things that get torn, like I've had pillows that I got that maybe started like coming apart at the seams a little bit, sewing them. I mean, there's no sense in getting a new pillow because it's still fluffy, it still works, it's just it's got a tear. So sewing. So also I have a lamp here that actually, it's like right over there, that worked perfectly fine, but I was trying to redo my desk decor and I was like, it's really not a very cute looking lamp. I mean, this is kind of petty, but I mean, I could have just tossed it, got a new lamp. But I was like, you know what I'm gonna do is just DIY it. I went and got some spray paint and I did like a rose gold or copper color, and then on the base I did like marble contact paper. Looks like a new lamp. That was barely any cost to me. So just try to think of like creative ways if you're thinking about buying something but there's an alternative to it, trying to do that. So the next thing is, some of these are about buying stuff. So the next one is about buying good quality the first time. This is something I've learned over the years. Multiple times this lesson has been learned, but I was a little slow at getting it. So the first time I will say on this is laptops. When I wanted a laptop the first time, I looked for the cheapest model because we were broke. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just save up to get the first one I can get, you know? And it was like $300 or something, right? It was like really, really cheap, basic model. Didn't really look for it to be super primo, okay? Just get a basic model. So I got it. The first one actually was pretty decent. Okay, I'll give them credit because I mean, everybody could probably agree to this. To some extent, I think things were made better back in the day for obvious reasons because you didn't replace them as much. But like my first laptop wasn't bad, okay? But it did get viruses and we were always having to fix it all the time. And, you know, for the most part, it eventually just died. Like it just wouldn't work anymore. So that was, you would have thought that would be my lesson to like next time when you have more money, maybe get a better laptop, okay? No. I bought another cheap laptop because I was like, you know what, I don't have money for a better laptop. I'm in school, I need a laptop. This is the only computer I have. So I went and bought a similar, sorry, my eye's watering, a similar cheap laptop, you know, which worked actually for quite a while, but it was doing the same thing. It would get viruses and it would crash and we'd have to reformat it, and it was just constant, you know. And then things that when I first bought it didn't even work, but me, I was like too lazy to take it back because I'm like, oh, the Bluetooth doesn't work and all these features it's supposed to have don't work. But instead of being smart and taking it back and getting another one or exchanging it or whatever, I just kept it because I'm like, okay, well, that's a lot of hassle and who cares? I'm not going to use it anyway, so whatever. Well, then more things started to go wrong. And then at that point, I'm like, okay, now I need to get another laptop. So on the third attempt, I finally did buckle down and actually wise up and say, you know what? Look, I bought 2 cheap laptops. This has not panned out well for me. I should really go and like get another laptop, but get like pay a lot maybe initially, but get that good quality the first time. And my friend had actually convinced me to get a MacBook, which I wasn't keen on at first because I was like, oh, this is going to be hard to learn. I don't know. It's so different. Best purchase. That's the 2011 laptop I still have. It's still working. Not once has it completely pooped out to the point where I was unable to fix it. And has not had viruses. It's not had all these weird issues that these old laptops had. Like, the one just died. Like, it would never cut back on. It's still never cut back on all these years. I still have it because I was like, maybe it can be, like, we can CPR it enough to bring it back. No, it's never come back. I really need to dispose of it. I haven't done that yet. But anyway, so, I mean, that 2011 laptop is still kicking. I still use it. So, I mean, you have to think on these purchases, I'm gonna invest a lot of money at once, but I bought two $300 to $400 computers at a time. I think the second one might have been $500, so I put a little bit more money in, so $500 plus $300. $800 I invested in 2 laptops that went out within like 3 years. You know what I mean? Like, what a waste. What a waste of time, waste of resources, you know, just inconvenience. So that's what you got to consider. And then when I bought this computer, which I wasn't even planning to do, but with like video editing and picture editing, I wanted something bigger and able to see better and maybe even do games and stuff on. So that's why I got this. Now with this one, this is another case where I was like thinking cheap me was coming in. You know, cheap me is like, oh, just get the cheapest model, just get the smallest monitor, get the basic model. And then like, okay, we've done this a lot. We've always gone the cheapest route and we've regretted it, or something happened and we always wish we had the better model. Like if I'm going to invest the money and I don't want to buy it another time later down the road, just go ahead and invest the money if you have it. You know, if you don't have it, obviously don't do it. But if you have the capability of waiting to save to get the better model, that's a better money decision than getting the cheap model now and hating it and then being stuck with it. You know, so just things like that. And this has come back to bite me on a few other things too. Cars being one of them. This depends on how much money you have, okay? So before we were both working full-time decent jobs, obviously we always had to have like cheap stuff, you know, because that's just all we could afford. Like all I can afford is a $1,000 car. That's all I can afford, you know? And we did the best we could with that. But I was always like anxiety ridden about it. And I realized like they always say like, oh, buy a used car, whatever, it's fine. If that's your life, you do that. But later down the road, we bought my, the SUV we still have, 2010 Rogue. We bought it new, paid the payments on, paid it off. You would think, okay, a lot of people would be like, just get rid of it, get a new one. It's got 60,000 miles on it. I'm not getting rid of it. I'm not going to get rid of it till it dies. So we've just been maintaining it and still driving it and working on it. And it's really not had any problems. It's been great. So that was what I would say is another like an investment, because I could have, when my other cars died, just said, okay, I'm going to go get another like $1,000 car. But I had the funds to be able to finance, and I had the credit to be able to finance a better situation for myself. And I was sick of that worry all the time. Is my car gonna die? Am I gonna be stranded somewhere? And do I need to have like insurance to cover being stranded somewhere, or like AAA or something? I hated that feeling. It just was awful. So when I was able to buy a new car, I did. And then that car, that was our new car. That was our baby. And then we had like a side car that was given to us by a family member, which we appreciated. And we just kept going with those cars. Later down the road, I was like, hey, you know, your car's like barely kicking, you know, it's like on its last legs. So we got rid of that car and then went and got him a car. So this is another time where we did the cheap route, and it backfired, because our idea was like, he just needs a car. It's just point A to point B, but like maybe we could get a new car, but a cheap model, you know, just with basic stuff. So we found the one that was actually pretty cheap, that was in good condition. I mean, it was in good condition, it was new, but I mean, had a lot of features for being at that price point. So we thought we were getting the slamming deal. So we get that car, he's driving it, things are great, right? And then all of a sudden things are going wrong all the time. This is before the warranty was even out. So we were taking it to the dealer all the time. So this is another example of like where you have to like really consider like where your value is going, you know? So for that, it was just annoying all the time to take it into the dealer, or something was going wrong. It it didn't not run. It just always had like issues all the time that were annoying, and we would take it in and take it in and take it in. And it was just old after a while. It was just too old to deal with anymore. So this is another circumstance where you're like, okay, should I have bought this $13,000 car, or should I have bought a more expensive car that I know is going to be reliable, and just suck it up initially and then be okay later? So on our next purchase, we did trade in that car, and I have my Prius now, which was way more expensive, which hurt so bad to purchase. But I was thinking, okay, there's the gas savings, there's the comfort, it has more features, it is better quality. I know people have Priuses for so long. They don't get rid of them until they're dead. I'm like, that's the situation I want to be in. I want to keep this car until it's completely useless to me. I don't want to have to buy another car for a while. So that's what we ended up doing, is buying the Prius for those reasons, because of the reliability and the features. And even though it was sucky to put that money in initially, best purchase. It was a very responsible decision. So it also depends on your life situation. We were able to afford to buy a new car that we could do that on. But if you're in a situation, then just buy the best used car you can get. Just do the best you can with the money you have. You know, that's just the situation you're in. But you just want to think about like, okay, it's like, for example, you can maybe get a Kia. I don't want to diss Kia all the time, because Kias are like getting better, but you can get a really older Kia that you know is not really that great. It might have a few more things, a few more bells and whistles, maybe a year newer, or you can get a Toyota that you know is really good quality. You might want to just downgrade a little to get the better quality, you know what I mean? So like, even though the prices are the same. So I hope that makes sense, but you know, you got to like weigh your options in that way so you're not wasting your money long term. So next option is on the other flip side of that, things that don't really matter, buy generic. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, and the weird thing is, when I was a kid, so much embarrassed me. Like, I don't know why. Like, if my mom bought a generic of something, it was humiliating to me. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna be shunned for life. I'm gonna die. Can't show my face in public. Why? Just freaking societal norms and stupidity. But I mean, now I'm like the cheapest person ever. I'm like, oh, excuse me. Oh, we're sure buying the Equate brand. Like, I am not ashamed. Like, I'm gonna buy what it costs the least amount of money. If it's something I don't care about and it doesn't taste any different to me, it doesn't seem any different, you're getting the cheap stuff. Like, because there's no point of wasting money on something that's not that much different. Like, honestly. Now, one of the things that's kind of frowned upon, because I work with eyes, is generic solutions. Now, for me, before I entered the eye field, I was using Equate solution all these years, have never had a problem. I continue to do it, you know? I mean, it is what it is. You know, if I got some sort of allergic reaction to it, it started not working for me, yeah, I'll upgrade. But as long as it's still kicking, then why am I going to change the way I'm doing it? It just is the way it is, you know? So things that matter, yes, go ahead and spend that money on. Things that don't matter, don't waste the money. Like, to me, a Ritz cracker and a freaking Fred Meyer cracker are the same thing. Who cares? I'm saving $2. That's $2 I would have wasted. So think about that on all your purchases. I do that on everything. Almost everything we buy is generic on things that don't matter. So think about that. And then also the other thing that I'm going to be working on this year that I suck at doing is going through your house and finding everything you have in multiples. So, for example, scissors, glue, shampoo, conditioner, soap, everything that you have in bulk. If you have bulk. Like me, I'm like a hoarder, you know, so I have a crap ton of things in bulk. So I've been trying to consolidate all the things so they're in one location. And then that way I know if I need a battery, for example, I need to go to this drawer and look for that battery. If I'm out, then I'm truly out because there's no other batteries in the whole house. Or if I need a pair of scissors, they're in 2 locations, one upstairs, one downstairs. If I don't have a pair of scissors, then we're literally out, you know, the scissors broke or they're gone. So that's another thing where I have like 6 pairs of, you know, so I try to consolidate everything together as humanly possible. I've done that with my gift bags, tissue paper, bows, all that stuff you use for gift wrap, all that stuff's in just one location. So if I have a gift coming up, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to my gift section. Do I have wrapping paper? Do I have bows? Do I have tissue paper? Do I have a card? All that stuff's in one central location. So I ask you to do that for anything that you have multiples of. Multiple soaps, multiple shampoos, multiple conditioners. I have so much bulk stuff, and a lot of times I'll go to the store and it'll be on sale and it'll be something new I haven't tried, and I'm like, oh, that's cool, like this new shampoo by Herbal Essences, never tried it, I'm gonna buy it because it's $2 or something. And then let's say I don't like it that much, but it still works, there's nothing wrong with it, that I'm gonna put all of my stuff together that I have, and then I need to go through all that stuff because you're just wasting money to have all these bottles laying around everywhere. And then so that's going to be my goal this year too, but that's just another way to save money because you know exactly what you have, where it's located, and then you know when you're actually truly out of stuff instead of just misplacing it and finding out later you have like 2 of them. So next, number 6 is getting the last drop of things. I've started to get a little bit more psychotic about this, I feel like, because the other day, for example, I was like using the last little bit of toothpaste and I was like, you know what? I was like, I can't squeeze any more out because it's getting kind of like weird at the tip of the tube. So I was like, I wonder if I cut it open, how much toothpaste is left. And this meanwhile is me squeezing it all the way down to the end. I'm like, I wonder how much is left in there. There was enough for 2 more brushes and it was just in the inside of the cap and it wouldn't come out. So little things like that. I mean, very small things that can make a difference. All this stuff adds up. You know, I mean, it might be like 2 cents worth of toothpaste, but whatever, it's something I save money on, okay? So, and I'm getting every little cent of what I bought for it. So that's what I did recently till I opened a new tube. And then I have 5 more tubes of toothpaste. For some reason I bought a million pack of toothpaste. I don't know why. So I have toothpaste for years. And then also I have the same thing happen with my face wash. So I was washing my face. I like squeezing the tube all the way to the down to the bottom. I can't get any more out. I'm like saying like, this is ridiculous. Like I have another bottle. I haven't opened it yet, but I was like, I'm just going to cut it open because I learned from the toothpaste there's a lot of stuff left in there. I cut it open. There's 5 more washes of face cream in there still. It just won't come out of the tube. So I'm going to insert pictures here to prove my point. Like literally cut open those tubes and get every little thing out of there. I've even bought spatulas for the peanut butter because sometimes, you know, you get all the stuff on the side, you can't get it off. I scrape it till it's clear. Scrape that container till it's done because I want my money's worth on all that stuff, okay? It might sound a little time tedious, whatever. It's worth it to me, okay? I want all of my money's worth of that jar of peanut butter or that face wash. So, things to consider. Let's see. But like the photographic evidence, like the fact that I had 5 more days I could wash my face in that tube, I would have thrown it away if I hadn't cut it open because I wouldn't have known there's more face cream in there. I can't get it out. Here's that below. Another way that we've been saving money is we use a bath soap, like bars of soap in the shower. And then once they get too small to the point where they're kind of like falling in the shower caddy, they're not like stable anymore because they're just so thin. Another thing we've been doing, which sounds kind of kooky, but like why waste it? Those bars we transport at that point to the sink because we have like a little soap holder for them. And then at that point we wash our hands with them till they're gone. So just coming up again with creative ideas on like how to save money because I'm like that bar of soap, it still has like maybe 50 more washes left on it. It's just so small that it won't stay in the caddy. So who is it hurting to go in the soap dish at that point? So I just wanted to add that too because I just remembered that that's another thing we've been doing for quite a while, and that's another one of those use it to the last drop sort of things. But anyway, so there's that. And number 7, you want to buy used on things that, another thing that's like buy used on things you can. So if you can buy used and it doesn't gross you out to do it, I try to as much as possible. Like things like George's computer, I know we went on the computer rant, but he doesn't use his computer very much. It's like literally just to use the internet or what have you. He doesn't buy anything on there. He's not using it for really any reason. It's just to BS around, you know? And he doesn't have standards on what he uses it for, okay? So he just wanted a cheap computer. He's like, I just want a desktop. I just want to be cheap. I'm going to reformat it. I'm going to put on like Unix or whatever the hell that is, Linux. I don't know, whatever that software is nobody uses except him. Anyway, so that's what he was going to put on it. And he's like, I don't need anything fancy. It doesn't have fancy, it just has to be basic, it has to be cleaned out, that's it. We looked on Craigslist, we found a computer, a desktop with a monitor, keyboard, mouse, everything, start to finish, 50 bucks. I mean, we went there, it was a little sketch. You have to like get over your germ issues, okay? Sometimes you don't always get like clean stuff. We went there, the guy's like literally a chain smoker, so it smelled really bad, okay? We came home, we like dusted everything out, we cleaned everything, and it worked really well. And he's been able to like go on there and just look stuff up or like just use it for like the internet, you know, it's what people do, you know, just BS on it. And that's all he wanted because he's like, I just want a desktop that's simple, I don't need to do anything, I don't need to be fancy, I'm not gonna be doing really much on it. And he'll even edit pictures on there and stuff and it's okay. But you know what I mean, if you're just using it for that purpose and it's not really something your livelihood depends on, then in that case, buy it used. That's one example. He had a gout flare up and he was like, I really need crutches and I need all this stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I mean, I don't know how much crutches cost or whatever. And I mean, we had the money to go buy the damn crutches, but at the same time, it's like, how often do you use crutches? Barely ever. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to spend $100 or whatever they cost new when you're not going to be able to use them but for once in a lifetime. So I went to Goodwill just to look because I was like, you know, whatever, they might have them, they might not because other people don't need them for long periods of time anyway. So I went, found a pair of crutches for like less than $10. brought them home, he was able to use them while he had gout, and then he's back to being normal again. So, I mean, simple things that you can cut costs on. You know, clothing, if there's something in particular you're looking for and you're not particularly weird, you know, you're not bothered by getting things used, might as well do it, you know? If you can, you can. I've gotten a lot of home goods from there before, like certain appliances and things that I maybe wanted, but I didn't want to pay full price for, like, you know, the George Foreman grills, things like that I've bought from there before. I mean, you'd be surprised at things you can find. So, but always go with the idea of, like, I'm looking for a specific item, don't just go for fun, because then you're going to buy a bunch of crap. So, we've also gotten board games there before. As long as you check and you have all the pieces, you're going to save maybe $5 or $6 on that board game. Someone just didn't want it because they don't need it anymore. So, yeah, always do stuff like that. And then, oh, and then we also got hiking sticks from there too, because we're like, hiking sticks, you're going to get them dirty. They just need to be a stick in one piece. They don't have to be fancy. They just have to have a handle and a stick, you know, and not be completely worn out. And we were able to save money by going there and getting them. It was like, here we go, you know. So we've gotten a lot of random things at Goodwill. Books are always good to get there too if you really want to buy a book. Excuse me. And yeah, so I mean, if you really wanted to buy a book, they have a plethora of things there. Also, we like to do this too, or I like to do this in particular, is go off season for things. So after the holidays is a really good time if you need to stock up on holiday specific items. So I've done this in the past where we had, this sounds kind of like a little extra, you don't need to do this, but like we have a white Christmas tree, like an artificial tree, and we've been putting it up for years, and it's the same tree over and over and over again. And I was just like, I'm so tired of using the same tree, like, and it was starting to get a little weak, and I didn't know you could buy a tree stand. I found that out later. So that's a part of repairing things. But then later I was like, you know what? I want a green tree. I haven't had a green tree in years. Let's get a green tree. But if I would have gone during Christmas, it would have been like a $50 to $100 purchase just for the tree alone. Then you get the ornaments that are different, all that other stuff, right? You're just adding up all these costs, right? So I was like, okay, we already have this tree up. It's fine. It's working. It's thriving. You know, it's just doing its thing. After Christmas, let's go and see if we can get something on clearance. So we waited to the last minute, which you don't always have to do, but we waited to the last minute so we'd get the best deal possible. Went in, got a 70% off Christmas tree. I was able to get a full cart of stuff at Walmart. Full cart. Ornaments, decor, everything for a whole new theme for $30. You can't beat that. You know what I mean? So like, always be mindful of like, if you don't need it now, but it's something you will use for sure, don't just waste your money. You can afford to go buy things off season and you will actually use them. Wrapping paper is a #1 thing. Always buy wrapping paper off season. Don't buy wrapping paper full price. There's no need to. I've had 10 rolls of I have so many rolls of wrapping paper. I haven't bought wrapping paper in like 5-6 years because I just stocked up at one time. I was like, this is cute, this is cute, this is cute, this is cute. I have a whole box full of wrapping papers. Every year I just go through the wrapping papers and use them. I haven't had to buy it in 5 years. The only thing this year I bought was gift bags, and that's because some things didn't fit in gift wrap. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to buckle down and get Dollar Tree gift bags. And I sure did. I went and got Dollar Tree gift bags. So if you can afford to do that at that time, and the wrapping paper, let's say it was a $5 wrapping paper, you get it for $1, stock up on it. And then for years you're covered. I did that with gift tags, bows, like all that little stuff. Tape, like they put those big packs of tape on sale after Christmas and everything because they think no one's going to use tape, whatever. Or it's like Christmas color theme or whatever. Buy it. Stock up on it. I've done this with people's gifts. Like, honestly, if you go and you see those gift sets that you're like, these are actually really nice, and this person would like this. Ugh, animals moving. And you think this person would really like this, and they would like it next year too, because it's something that's versatile. It's not like they're going to grow out of it or whatever. Hold on to it till the next year. If you have room to do that, do it. You're getting that item for $2, and then you have a Christmas gift for next year. You're already prepared. So, or it's someone's birthday coming up, you could still reuse that same item. It's a gift set, it still works. I mean, just things to consider, like that you maybe alternative uses for things. That also has to do with storage, and if you have the money to do it, all those things. If you have money to do it and you have the room, do it. Because you'll save money in the long run. Let's see. 9. not washing your clothes right away. So I tend to be bad about this. I'm trying to get better, but like if it's something that, like a shirt, like if I go out and I wear this sweater out to dinner and it's also contingent on me not messing it up because I'm a slob, okay? Like when I eat, it's a slob fest. So if I haven't used it as a trough and it looks fine, it's not stained, it's not gross, it doesn't have something on it, put that shirt away, reuse it another time. I mean, it didn't smell, it wasn't dirty. What's the point of washing it? You know what I mean? Pants are pretty easily to do with this, too. My husband will reuse stuff a lot. He's very good about it. He barely I mean, it sounds gross, but he barely washes his clothes. Because a lot of times he'll just wear his outfit to work. He's sitting at his job, not moving. You know, he's at a desk all day. And then at that point he comes home, takes it right back off. So he's like, I'm wearing it only these 8 hours. I'm not doing labor in it. If it doesn't smell, it's still clean. Everything's fine with it. I could reuse another day. So you just want to be contingent about that, because first off, you're saving on water. Second off, you're gonna not ruin your clothes as fast, because if you're washing them all the time really regularly and you don't need it, you're just wearing them out faster. So those are always things to consider too. So just like little things that you don't think, well, and you're also using less detergent. There's a lot of factors of things you're saving money on, whether you're thinking about it or not. The other one, number 10, I will save anything from a restaurant. So if they give me butter, they give me ketchup, they give me napkins, they give me silverware, I will save it. Like, I'm just that person. Like, napkins, car tissues. I just have a bag, I shove them in a little bag, I have tissues in my car now. I mean, just easy things, they're free. Why would I throw it away? It makes no sense. Ketchup, all those things, they have to throw away. If you get up and you leave the ketchup there, or you give the ketchup back to them, they can't reuse it. They're just gonna toss it. Why not take it home? I mean, a lot of times I have a bin actually in our fridge. It's like a little thin bin. I don't have one in front of me, otherwise I would show you. But like a really thin bin. And then all the like extra stuff that we get, I just throw it in there. So if like we ran out of ketchup, look what we got, ketchup. Or you go bring your lunch, let's say you just want a little bit of ketchup, you don't have to put ketchup in a container because you got a packet of ketchup. It's already prepackaged. You know what I mean? There's just so many different uses for it. My favorite thing to save, it sounds so weird, is sweet and sour sauce, because I love sweet and sour sauce so much. You can't really buy the restaurant one in a bottle that I'm aware of. If you can, please tell me, because I love it so much. But you can't buy like a bottle of it, for example. They only come in packets. And if I can get extra, I will. And I will put them in the fridge for when I need it, because I can't buy it. So, I mean, there's just so many different things that they give you for free that they're gonna throw away. They can't keep it. So keep those things in mind. Like, it's throwing away stuff less. You're just saving money in general. Let's see, what else? Number 11, keeping your thermostat at a reasonable temperature. So George and I kind of fight about this, because I would rather have it at kind of a medium temperature, but his idea is like turn it off and then turn it back on full blast. I hate that, because it's like, first off, you get super cold to the point where you can't breathe, and then all of a sudden it's like super hot till you can't breathe. So there's no happy medium. So you gotta get your spouse on board. But if you can set it to like an average temperature that both of you can agree on, then the house is not ridiculously cold, it's not ridiculously hot, and you have balance. So you have to get to that point. But the other thing is too, is closing your vents in your house that you're on rooms you're not using. So this is really important. There are guest bedrooms. We have 2 guest bedrooms. One is George's like playroom or whatever. And then we have one that's like an extra bedroom that just has a bed in it. Barely ever anybody's there. Why would I send heat down that way? There's no reason to. No one's sleeping there. If someone were sleeping there, yeah, I'll give them the heat. But I'm not going to sacrifice my heat for an invisible person in a room. No, I'm turning that vent off. I open my vent up. I turn off all the vents that don't matter. That way I redirect all that heat my way. So you're saving your money there. So you want to be extra cautious about that. If you haven't thought about that, easy ways to save money. Or rooms that maybe you're only in for a few minutes. Why send all your heat up there? Like, it doesn't make sense. You want to put the heat in the places you're in the most. the valuable spots. You know, if I'm gonna be in bed, I want heat in my bedroom because I like heat in my bedroom. But like the office, I'm not like really that concerned about, to be honest. I'm in here a lot, but it's never really that cold. Like we only have one vent and I think I have it halfway open. So just think about things like that, because those are like little ways you can save your money there. Free trials. So if someone gives you something for free, really think about it. Okay, so at work, we luckily, it sounds kind of gross, but I'll still do it anyway. But a lot of times we'll get sample sizes of contact lens solution. We will get these trial sizes and they eventually they expire and we can't give them out anymore. And either they're going in the trash or people take them. So what I end up doing is usually keeping them. Now, I don't know all the logistics. I don't know how long they technically last, but I feel like it's usually longer than a year. I'm pretty sure. So when I get them, I will keep them for travel. So that saves me from $1 or $2 going to get a mini contact lens solution bottle to take with me. And then I don't have to repackage it also. So I have free bottles of this. I have like 25 of them. Now, I might not be able to go through all of them, but if I have friends and family that maybe need those travel size bottles, I have them as well. It depends on if they're okay with using expired stuff or not. I personally don't care. I've not had a bad reaction. I've used them for all this time. It's never been a problem. I even know like the doctors, they'll use that stuff on their own selves and be fine with it. So, I mean, obviously for being a professional setting, you don't want to give people expired stuff because that doesn't look good. But at the same time, if it's free and it's going to get tossed, I'll still use it. I don't care. You know, if it starts to act funky or something like that, then at that point I'll toss it because it's not valuable to me anymore. But in our linen closet right now in the upstairs, I have tons of trial sizes of stuff. So the contact lens solution I get from work for free. You go to the dentist, they give you mini toothpaste, they give you floss, they give you an extra toothbrush, all that stuff they give you for free. Little toothpaste, Trip toothpaste. It's free. Why would you go and spend $1 on something they're giving away? You know, I've even had my dentist give me chapstick, brand new container of chapstick. Do I need to buy chapstick? No, I don't, because I have a tube of chapstick and it was orange dreamsicles in it, so it was great. So, and it worked wonderful. So you just always have to be on the lookout. So if people are giving stuff away that you might need or it's actually good, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna use it. I'm not mad about it. So also along the same lines, and this is kind of more about being less wasteful as well, is reusing containers. Now, George is a little better about this than I am. Like, I'll empty out a container and then I'll be like, okay, it's done. And he's like, oh my God, I could use this for this and this and this, and I could store this in it and all this stuff. And I let him have it. But always be mindful if you're looking out for specific size containers with lids and things like that. You already have them. You're going to throw them in the garbage anyway. They're, you know, I mean, you're going to throw them in the recycling, but they might not get recycled. Why not keep it for yourself and use it? That saves you $2 on a container. So always want to be mindful for stuff like that. With like plastic bags aren't great, but when you get them and you're like stuck with them, why not use them? You know what I mean? Like, use them for whatever you gotta use them for. I get free newspapers sometimes from like Vancouver. I don't know how. I didn't sign up for them with like some kind of free like local paper. I don't ever read it because it's like, it's just, anyway, it's kind of silly and small. It's like a really thin newspaper. So what I do is I save it, because if I'm doing a paint project, if I'm doing something really messy, spray painting, whatever, I have all these newspapers I could be using to like protect stuff. So always be on the lookout for your free stuff that you can get and that way you can take advantage. So, you know, all that little stuff adds up. It might not be perfect. Sorry, I was just checking my cat because he's like, looks suspicious. He's pretty suspicious all the time. So, but you just always want to be on the lookout for ways that you can save money, even if it's like small little increments. I feel like these are a lot of things that we've done to be able to get ahead on bills, even if it's just saving small like I said, small amounts of money. Like all of it adds up over time. And some of these are really easy swaps that like aren't that hard to do. So if any of this content interests you, feel free to subscribe and like the video. And any tips that you guys have, feel free to share them, because I'm always interested in hearing new stuff that I can even do to save even more money. So, I mean, I'd rather spend it on stuff I want. You know, I don't want to spend it on like stupid stuff, you know, that I don't really care that much about. So anyway, like travel, you have more money for traveling, you have more money for anything. So you want to keep all these things in mind so that you can actually do those things and put your money where it's actually more valuable to you. So have a good day, guys.